Well, hidey-ho. Hidey-ho, as Cab Calloway used to say. It's the He Mistook Her for a Swan emergency broadcast. And I'm walking around in the back alley. Why? Because I got ants in my pants. James Brown. Got ants in my pants. I gotta dance. Yeah, I'm bored. I'm the chairman of the board. It's like that John Lee Hooker song, you know where he, Boogie Children. He says, I was laying in bed one day, and I heard Mom and Papa talking. I heard Papa say, that boy's got boogie woogie in him, and it's got to come out. It has got to come out. You gotta move. Oh, you gotta move. That's another song entirely. We're gonna leave that one alone for now. I'm going to stop wandering around now, but the one more thing I do have to say. Wop bapaluba, wop bam boom. Little Richard passed away today. The man who invented rock and roll. 1955 that song came out. Nothing like it had ever been heard of or seen before. He invented rock and roll. Little Richard. Here's to you, man. All right, wander around the back alley. Nobody here now. That's why I'm wandering around, but who knows? We're going to retire to the green room now. So hold on to your hats for episode 6. We're back. We're back in the green room. We're back for episode 6 of He Mistook Her for a Swan, emergency broadcasting system. Yes, we're up to 6, which is sad, but we're going to make the best of it. So, how's everybody doing? Everybody good? Everybody still sane? Has anybody actually gone crazy? It's tough times. These are tough times. You got to take care of yourself. If you're an artist, make some art. If you're a reader, read some books, call your friends, keep in touch with your friends. That's my sermon for the day. So, interesting stuff going on this week. All right, I heard this from my brother, who heard it from my friend Don. New song by Nick Cave. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? Okay, yeah, new song by Nick Cave. And dig this. He's covering a T-Rex song. So there's this new compilation of T-Rex songs. And it's got the usual cast of characters. It's like you sign up on a list to be one of those compilation guys. Todd Rundgren's on there, Lucinda's on there. God bless them, but I'm tired of hearing these guys on every compilation for every dead person that ever made a record. Make your own goddamn record. I know, maybe that's a little too harsh. But it does seem like there's the usual cast characters. Anyway, be that as it may. Nick is on there, and odd choice. I mean, I think a bit of an unusual choice, bit of a chance they're taking. They got Nick to do Cosmic Dancer. Cool T-Rex song. And I'll tell you, Nick is giving it the treatment. It is dark. It's gloomy. It's Nicky. He's hunched over the piano with big grand piano. He's brooding. Yeah, it's gloomy. And he's pounding away at it. You kind of expect him to just jump up and start smashing it into bits or something. He doesn't do that. That's just me. But that would be cool. But anyway, so he's there. He's got a string section. There's violins. There's cellos. The most gloomy of all instruments, the cello. And there's more than one. So they're laying it on thick. Anyway, Nick's doing the song, Cosmic Dancer. It actually completely works. It's fantastic. You should check it out. I saw it. There's a video of it. So yeah, I'll put the link to the video at the end. Okay. So and I'll put it in my email. Check that out. Also, as you know, we lost one of the greatest rock and rollers of all time, Little Richard. So, Wapapaluba, you know, he was the most. He had a lot of what they call the most, if you know what I mean. My friend Caitlin had reminded me the other day that it was National Poetry Month. That was April. April, the cruelest month, as T.S. Eliot said, and it's no joke. But May, pretty cruel. There was snowing the other day, for God's sakes. What's up with that? I mean, there should be May showers. There should, you know, I don't get it. Anyway, it's still cruel. So I think by the power invested in us as you know, music lovers and just generally smart and beautiful people, we're going to extend Poetry Month indefinitely. We're going to make it Poetry Year, okay? It's not just Poetry Month, it's Canadian Poetry Month. So dig out those poetry books that are, you know, holding up your chair, that kind of shit. What do you got? I don't know. What do you got? You got some Leonard Cohen, you got some Milton, you got some Margaret. How about some B.P. Nichol? You should dig. Do you know who B.P. Nichol is? Very cool Toronto cat. Did lots of concrete poetry and lots of more what we might say traditional poetry, but really cool. He wrote this gigantic poem. It was like his life's work called The Martyrology. He wrote it for his whole life, so it goes on and on and on and on. But it's pretty cool. It's a fun read. He was part of a musical group, the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. They did kind of this weird avant-garde singy stuff. It's hard to explain. It's way out there. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe, did they ever play The Edge? I don't know. They might have. They were around in the late 70s, early 80s. Anyway, that's just a couple of people. I know there's a million young poets out there who I don't even know about. Canada is filled with great poets. I just don't know who they are. Fortunately, we have time. We have nothing but time, for God's sakes. Get Googling. Find some poetry. Support the people. Really, you know, they're out there scribbling away, living in little garrots, you know, cutting off their ears. I don't know what they're doing, but yeah, that kind of shit. So this week, I want to talk a little bit about this song that we do in He Mistook Her for a Swan called Nottamun Town. So this is an odd song. It's an odd song, and that's why it interests me. All the words in this song are kind of puzzles. They're enigmas wrapped in puzzles, wrapped in mysteries, to misquote Winston Churchill. All the words in this song are explaining something, but they're explaining it backwards. So it seems like there's meaning here, but it's tough to say what it is. So we know for sure it's an old song. So a lot of people think it maybe goes back to the English Civil War times. You know, that's, you know, the 1600s. Back in those days, there was a thing, there was a concept going on called the world turned upside down. And, you know, they had, you know, pamphlets and songs and pictures of things that were just backwards. You know, I think I have one, actually. Can I do this? Poof, I can. Wow. That's great. I got to go over here now. There I am. You know, for example, you know, there's a cow butchering a man. Backwards, right? Gene Ritchie. Too far. There's some people pulling a cart with the cow whipping them. You know, so this is kind of backward stuff, right? Apparently, there was a lot of social turmoil, and everything was getting upended. Nobody knew what was right and what was wrong. Just like today, okay? So for another reason I love it is that it, although it's so ancient, it seems so contemporary. So that's one theory. Yeah, people have theories. You know, people have opinions, strong opinions. You start Googling this shit. I mean, you can well imagine, you know, a bunch of academics in their tweed jackets and their, you know, their little leather elbow protectors, you know, getting into it. My opinions on this are not that strong. But anyway, so, you know, other people say that this may be an even more ancient origins. Maybe it's relating somehow to mummery. Not the mummy, you know, not that guy. Mummery. It's like English plays that were put on by the common people, and you know, they kind of had a format. There was King George or Saint George, and his enemy, who was, I love that his enemy is often called Slaughter. Now there's a heavy metal song. So anyway, bunch of other cast of characters, and they put on these little plays, and it seems to have some deeper meaning, just like this song, but it's not too clear what it is, and so it seems to be go back, you know, back into more ancient times where it had meaning, but then over time Christianity came in and it kind of lost its meaning and it just got small. So it turned into like a little hobby for people, but a strange hobby, you know, because like I say, it seemed to have some hidden meaning, which wasn't too clear. So anyway, this song Nottamun Town seems to be describing this world that has turned topsy-turvy. Nothing makes sense. You know, people are getting on their horses backwards, and their horses all gray, except no, it's all black. And they're, you know, they'll have a drink of ale to make themselves more dry. And so everything they say is like the opposite of what you think should be normal. Jerry Garcia of the Dead loved this song, and he basically, like, especially the last verse of this song, you know, where it says 10,000 were drowned that were born. He loved this because he thought, well, here's what I think he thought, is it was a mystery song, and it meant that you could communicate with people in these ways that it couldn't be explained clearly in regular language, but you're still saying something that could touch people. He took that and ran with it. Boy, did they run with it. Holy moly. How many Grateful Dead tapes are there out in this world? So, this song Nottamun Town, obviously it's an English song. Lots of debate about where it's from, but it was definitely an English song, hundreds of years old. Died out in England. Nobody was playing this song. They'd forgotten how this song went. Like, they knew the words, but nobody was playing it. They didn't really know how it went anymore. But in the New World, in Appalachia, in Kentucky, and up and down the eastern seaboard, even up in Newfoundland, there were versions of this song. So, one day in around 1917 or something, there's this English music folk collector guy. He goes to Kentucky, and he meets this family, the Ritchies. The Ritchies are a well-established family in Kentucky. They've been there for hundreds of years, and they know a million songs. So he asked these two young ladies, Sabrina and Una Ritchie, yeah, play that one song. What is that song? And they go, oh, this song's been in our family for generations. I don't know that anybody else knows this song, but we know this song. This is our song. Nottamun Town. This is our song. So they sing the song, and the guy's like astounded. That's our song, he's thinking. Like I've read about this song, but I don't know this song. This is weird. Like, it's an English song. How come you know it and we don't? So, cool. He records it in a very primitive way back when. Later on, another one of the Ritchies, Jean Ritchie, a young lady from that family, records this song in 1950, and in a few more times. She's recorded it multiple times. And she is like the source of folk traditional music in Appalachia. She is amazing. She was hanging out with Alan Lomax, the great collector of folk tunes, and he's going, "Wow, you seem to know a lot of songs. We should record some of those songs for the Library of Congress." And she's going, "Well, Alan, I hope you got a lot of tape, because I know like 10 million songs." And she did. Go to Spotify. I have to confess, I'm a little new to Jean Ritchie. It's my bad. I should know more about her. Go to Spotify. She's got like 50 albums. She is very prolific, and she has recorded every American folk song there is, basically. She was known as the Queen of Folk. Even in the early 60s, in the New York folk circles, Queen of Folk. So you remember like Bascom Lamar Lunsford? He was the minstrel of the Appalachians. She was the Queen of Folk, okay? So, anyway, so he records this song. I'll also say that, she recorded this song and she played it on the Appalachian dulcimer. Now, there's a tough instrument. I don't know if anybody's ever picked up an Appalachian dulcimer, but it's easy to sound bad. It's a weird little instrument with, I think 3 or 4 strings. It's twangy, and they're all high pitched, and you could easily sound really crappy playing one of those. But she made it sing. She could play the Appalachian dulcimer like nobody's business, and it was amazing. So anyway, this song makes it back across the ocean after her 1950 recording of it, and people start paying attention. Our buddy Bert Jansch recorded it, I think in 65 or 66. Fairport Convention recorded it. I think Steel Eye Span recorded it. A bunch of people recorded it. They took it to heart. It was like their lost child. Come home. It's this old English song that had been holed up in Appalachia for like 200 years, and it's back. They loved it. Meanwhile, on the other side of the pond, Bob Dylan keeps turning up in our story, doesn't he? Bob, he takes this song, changes all the words, and releases it on the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan under the title of Masters of War. Pretty heavy song, cool song. It's exactly the same melody. So, Jean Ritchie, remember her? She gets on the blower to Bob. Like, "Bob, what's up? We know each other. We hang out on McDougal Street and stuff. We're part of the same gang. That's my song. It's my song. Give me some credit." And then, I guess lawyers talk to lawyers. And eventually, I think Bob actually took his name off of it, or there was some kind of reconciliation. He kind of admitted, okay, it really is Nottamun Town. It's Jean Ritchie's song. So, there we go. And after that, that's the whole story. So, I got nothing more to say about Nottamun Town. But I think you should check out Jean Ritchie, because I went down the Spotify rabbit hole on this the other day, and some pretty cool stuff. She does that song Shady Grove, that Tom Petty does. And the original, her version, is just, it's so cool. She does the song The L&M Don't Stop Here Anymore, which Michelle Schacht did. And again, Jean Ritchie's version is fantastic, and she does all these other murder ballads. She does a bunch of kid songs, the whole gamut, right? So anyway, coming back to us, He Mistook Her for a Swan. We do this song too. And so since I've spent all this time blathering about it and talking about it, why don't I let you hear it? We'll go out on this song. So this is Colleen Hodgson and myself playing this song. This is our new recording of it, and I hope you enjoy it. So I'm going to sign off for this week. I hope everybody's doing good, taking care of yourself. Mothers, call them if you got them. Call your friends. Call your uncle. Stay out of major trouble, okay? You can get into minor trouble. Eat cake. Buy candy. Eat nibs, all right? You can't say anything bad about nibs. Okay, now I'm just blathering. Okay, so I'm going to play the song for you, and I hope everybody's good, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
Not a soul would look up, not a soul would look up, not a soul would look down, not a soul would look up, not a soul would look down, to show me my way to fair Nottamun town. Bought me a horse, just called a gray mare, gray mane and gray tail, a green stripe down her back, a gray mane and gray tail, a green stripe down her back, and there ain't a hair on her that ain't coal black. So still, she threw me to the dirt. She bruised my head and she teared my shirt. From saddle to stirrup I mounted again, and on my 10 toes I rode over the plain. And when I got there, no one could I see. They all stood around looking at me. I called for a cord to draw the gladness away, to stifle the dirt, for it rained the whole day. Company more came riding behind and walking before, and a stark naked drummer beating his drum, put his hand on his bosom, came marching along. Sat down on a hard, cold frozen stone. 10,000 stood around, and yet I was alone. Put my hat in my hand for to keep my head warm. 10,000 were drowned.